Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Hey traders, John Howell here. And in this video, I'm going to be covering the Dow Jones, S&P, the Nasdaq. Also be covering silver and gold as well too. Some of you guys asked about silver and gold. Traders, one thing I must say before I start this video is that I've been going through the S&P 500 stocks a lot today. I actually did it just as the market was closing. The market has just closed right now. I'm doing this just after the market closed. And one thing I must say is that while the last sort of maybe month to month and a half, I've seen a lot of stocks being in like a bearish sort of sideways mode, I'm starting to see a lot of stocks starting to create a lot of bullish trend analysis or bullishness out of the markets. And one of the main things we know about the markets, whether you think the market is rigged or not, yes, you know, don't fight it, Fed market. That's what this is, right? It is the Fed market. But even if that's the case, and we know it is, and we know we know the government's going to continue to prop this up and prop this up and prop this up. The thing that I must say is that the market still gives us warning signs or guidance on what's really going on right now and the probability of certain things happening. And one of those certain things, right, is just basic simple trend analysis. So if I give you a quick little introduction on what I mean by that, a basic simple trend analysis is, right, is that if we're making higher lows and higher highs, we have an upward trend. Okay, or if we have a lower highs and lower lows, sometimes we forget the power in this one thing through here. Makes sense? So we have this number one most powerful thing through here, which is trend analysis. That is the number one thing. A lot of people say, John, I want to see the candlesticks and I want to see moving averages and I want to see everything. So traders, the number one thing that is important to your trading is always listening to the market. And listening to the market is listening to this here. So say, for example, if the market came down, made a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and a lower low. Who's in control through here? The sellers, right? But what happens if the market runs up, comes back down, and forms a double bottom, and then rallies back up? Oh, see how that's different? See how that's... The market's always telling us a story, isn't it? So when we're watching and reading these markets, we can see, oh, well, the market is no longer creating lower lows, lower highs. We create a bit of a double bottom. And then what happens if the market then suddenly starts to do this? It starts to rally up, come back down, create a higher low, and then start to break up. Now who's in control? Who's coming in control through here? The buyers. Why? Because now we have what? We have a higher high and a higher low breaking past these previous highs. So now this is what? This could be now the start of a upward trend. Now if you're looking at a daily chart, this upward trend could be a week, it could be a few days only. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. When you're looking at a weekly chart, this could be much more powerful. The trade that I got out of recently, I made over 1,000% return in 2 months. This is the sort of setup that I traded, was within my trading system, and I was in it for 2 months because it was on the weekly charts. So if you're looking at the weekly chart, there's a lot more strength behind it. But if you're looking at the daily charts, you still get a bit of guidance on what's going on in the markets. So this is the sort of pattern that I'm seeing through here in the markets, where the market will come down, it'll find support, it'll even rally up, come back up, make a higher high and a higher low, and now it's doing something like this. And maybe the previous high is up here somewhere on a lot of stocks. So I'm seeing this sort of action, which is what? Once again, it's a higher high, higher low breaking out. So I'm seeing that through a lot of the stocks through there. So as much as everything seems to be really, 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 really bad right now, I'm seeing a lot of bullishness out there right now. And remember guys, I'm doing this as I speak right now. Tomorrow could be different. So looking at the S&P or the Dow Jones, should I say, if we remove everything from the screen, we have this level through here, and then we have this resistance level through here. If I remove everything from the screen and I only go based on what the market's telling me right now, because that's all we have, don't we? I can see what? I can see that the market came down, made a low. The market came down, made a what? Double bottom. See how it actually made a lower high here, but see how it made a double bottom. See how we actually didn't break these lows through here? So it made a double bottom. bit of a warning sign, right? And now we rallied up. Look what happened. We rallied up. We created a lower high through here. So now we're sort of squeezing into a bit of a triangle pattern through here. And now look what happened. We came up, made this higher low, and now look what's happening. Now we're breaking past these previous highs. Yesterday was a bit of a question mark, but today we're breaking past it. So what does that mean? Well, if I take, let me just remove this off the screen, and I bring this back down to here for a minute. You can see what's happening right now. Now, guys, this is not me. You can fight or not. This is just the market talking to me. This is the market speaking to you. We have a double bottom, now a high low breaking past previous highs. So no matter how much I think everything is bad out there right now, we're probably likely to see a nice move up on the Dow Jones, probably back up to 27,500. And then we have a gap all the way up here, which probably will get filled by the end of the year. I know that sounds crazy to me, and even I'm saying it, but the way that I'm seeing this market starting to kick back in now, and we're really starting to hold its level through here. We're not rolling over, guys. This is the market is speaking to us now, and we're rolling up through there. Looking at the S&P 500, sort of the same thing, isn't it? We have the market came down, made a bottom, made a double bottom. It actually rallied up. See this high through here. So we had this high point through here. It rallied up to create this sort of high point through here. And now, look what's happening. We could be creating some form of a higher low through here somewhere. See how it's just going sideways? So if we start to break up and out on this S&P 500, mark my words, guys, the gap is the gap and all-time new highs. This is the gap here. This is the gap right here. And so no matter what I think about the market, guys, and I have been bearish in some of my videos in the past because that's what I thought, right? That's what it's rolling over. But the market has continued to stay a step higher. Remember the video, if you watched my video a few days ago, I talked about how don't fight the market. So the thing is, you have a double bottom, now a higher low. If we start to break above this sort of 3,200 level, guys, we're probably on our way up to all-time new highs on the S&P, and the Nasdaq has continued to rip right up. The Nasdaq is in a massive bubble right now, but the problem with the situation we're in as we speak is that we don't know. We just never know when that bubble is going to end, especially in the tech stocks. So if you're unsure about something, then just don't get involved with that particular market. So if you trade the Nasdaq and you're unsure about, is it getting towards the top? Well, the best thing you can do is look at the market, because the market will start to give us some warning signs that we're going to roll over. But if you're unsure about any position or any market, you think it's too high or too low or whatever, then just don't get involved with that. Say, you know what, I'm a bit unsure about this one, so therefore I'm not 100%, with it. I've been reading, what's that? I've been listening to the Reminiscence of a Stock Market Operator from Jesse Livermore. Fantastic book. And I don't know why I mentioned that to you, but anyway, it's an amazing book. So that's what we're seeing through there right now. Looking on to silver and gold. Gold is continued to, no matter how high I believe gold is, we are holding this level through here. There's 1,800. We are holding. We're not breaking down. If we did break down, we're probably likely to see a drop to the downside, but we are holding here very, very nicely. So maybe, just maybe, if we look at this weekly chart, we're still at that area of resistance, but this is the previous highs up here, right up there. So if I look at my short-term charts, we are once again creating these higher lows, a little bit of a pullback, and we are holding this level of support. So maybe, just maybe, we are getting ready to have a nice move up through there with gold. Moving on through to silver. Silver has continued to have a very nice breakout, nice sideways movement. We have continued up. My target on silver is $20.50 now when it comes to silver through there, and that's what I see through there, guys. Please don't be just trading this market willy-nilly, and just be patient. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stocks out there. There's a lot of patterns. There's a lot of things that are going on. Just make sure you take your time, guys. Okay? Please take your time. If you're doing your analysis and you're looking to get into position, just spend your time very, very calmly. Look through the market and do your analysis properly. And then when you get into position, don't say, I'm going to make $1 million in this one position. Don't do that. Because more times than not, that's your ego talking, and you're probably going to lose a lot of money on that one position. So you know what? This is a really nice trade, and I'm going to risk 2% of my account on this one trade. It's a very high probability trade, and here are the reasons why. And I'm going to do that. Make sense, guys? So guys, the very first link in the description, or it's in the comment section or whatever, go to johnsfreegift.com. I'm actually giving away a free training video talking about my number one most explosive pattern that I use in my trading system. You're able to see that number one pattern, you see examples and so on and so forth. So go to johnsfreegift.com, get the free training, and I'll share with you exactly all the details to that number one pattern that when it forms, it could be really, really, really explosive.